What comes to mind when you hear the words haute couture? Beautiful young ladies in princess gowns with flawless hair and makeup. It's not too far off the scenes backstage at Elisab. Haute couture is indeed that fantasy that everyone dreams of, but it's also about the art of creating one-off pieces and a lab for research and experimentation. For the 2017-18 autumn-winter collections, 2 houses were lauded by the industry. Both of them have been elevated to the rank of fully recognized couturiers. First up, Schiaparelli. Known in the 1940s for its avant-garde approach, the label's now in the hands of Italian businessman Diego della Valle. In 2015, he named designer Bertrand Guyon to head up the creative side of things. After stints at Givenchy, Galliano and McQueen, for Guyon, inspiration comes from a surrealist take on the Orient.
It's a way of using the codes of the house and then employing them in a very graphic way, a bit like Chinese shadow puppets. Very pared-back kimonos. There's lightness too, a fresh feeling, a certain simplicity as well. It's light and supple.
The catwalk show was staged in the salons of the house's HQ on the Place Vendôme, the same site where candidates for the International Fashion Festival of Hyères were presented, since Bertrand Guyon is presiding over this year's jury. Julien Fournie was next in line to be recognized as a fully-fledged couturier. He's continued his exploration of the abstract motifs of the 1960s on jacquard weaves. He's also found inspiration in the dripping technique of painter Jackson Pollock.
As a new member of the French Federation of Couturiers, I wanted to show off that French craftsmanship extends to splashes of colour, to embroidery and 3D effects. It's extremely innovative. The idea is to push forward mentalities.
Exploring the gap between 2 and 3D is a central part of Iris van Herpen's designs. Her collection bore the name Between the Lines and saw her models negotiating the graphic lines of Italian artist Esther Stocker. The 2 creatives use optical illusions in their quest for perfection.
It's always a play between the materials and the body. I think this collection there was a lot of transparency and a lot of layering. And I think that accentuates the movement of the garments, which was the play again with shadow and light, which was really important.
Yuima Nakazato was born in Tokyo but studied design at the Art School of Antwerp. He's looking to change people's perspective of haute couture and is leading the charge in favour of 3D printing. This collection was inspired by the 4 elements: earth, wind, water and fire.
First of all, I created a new system of textile. So this textile is like the unit system. So each small pieces connect each other to make it fabric, like textile, and then making this fabric and garment. So there are no sewing machine, no needles, no thread, just unit.
As for Alexandre Vautier, he's decided to take a different perspective from a very high vantage point. His elevated catwalk harks back to the 90s, when models walked above the fray. The designer mixes eras, styles, colours and cuts.
I started off with all the codes that characterize haute couture at its most extreme, and I hold that up to the present day. You'll see that from the back. Some of the dresses are almost excessively formal, and from the front, extremely modern.
Israeli designer Galia Lahav is a new arrival in the haute couture collections. Her evening gowns are created in Tel Aviv and made from Victorian-style lace. It's almost as if they're a modern take on women's lib, as well as being the product of a war-torn country.
Fashion and politics have nothing in common. There's fashion, beauty, inspiration, politics, and national security are very, very distant from us. Plus, I'm ignorant in that field. Had I known better, I would have told you something, but fashion does influence the world because, like Meryl Streep said in The Devil Wears Prada, if you choose a certain fiber that's produced in a certain remote country, it can boost the economy of that country.
And the grand finale of the couture collections was Vetements. Everyone's talking about the label's creative director, Demna Vesalia, but you won't catch a glimpse of this camera-shy creative. The brand's show took place at Paris's Pompidou Centre, a collection inspired by the social profiles you'd see in an airport or on the subway.
We had to do our research and find people like that, and then our idea was to take something that really exists, I mean their clothes, the way they dress, their lifestyle, their attitude, etc., and put that within a Vetements framework, into our aesthetic. That means subverting a piece to a certain extent, but you'll still recognise that it's a yellow parka and a wedding dress, except that's not a wedding dress, it's a tracksuit. That was the challenge, to stay true to the source garment, from where it comes from, because the source is just that, it's the society we live in.
Singular pieces from a unique label. Vetements' latest collection is the fruit of economic, social and cultural research, but they look like everyday clothes. So is it haute couture in the end, or not?